On this episode of A Great Life, I want to talk about why it's important for you to revisit some of the agreements you have about yourself so you can move forward and live a great life. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of A Great Life podcast. I'm your creator and host, Paris Charday, and I'm super excited that you're here. A Great Life is a listening space that explores growth and fresh perspective through God's Word. Because the way I see it is simple. The process is always the same. It just looks a little bit different based on where you are, what you know, and what you've got. But regardless of it all, you deserve to live a great life. So welcome. What's up, everybody? So today I want to be your friendly reminder to come into new agreements for yourself. I remember back in 2018, I decided to start reaching out to modeling agencies in Los Angeles in hopes of being signed and eventually start working in LA. And as I went through the process of researching talent rosters, I began to see how beautiful some of the portfolios were. And immediately, my mind started telling me things like, you can submit, but they probably won't respond. Or, you don't have enough yet to get an agency like that. Just all kinds of discouraging thoughts filled my pursuit. But nonetheless, I kept submitting anyway. And I remember having about 3 agencies that I really liked. But my top pick had these requirements on their website like women must be 5'8" or taller and under the age of 26. Pretty much all the things I was not. But because I had nothing to lose, I casted my net anyway. And about 2 weeks later, I received an email from them asking to schedule an in-person meeting with me at their Beverly Hills office. And they signed me. Then they started getting me booked for small gigs here and there, and I even booked some acting opportunities. After getting my feet wet, I came to the conclusion that I really wanted a career in acting. But that agent at the time didn't take me serious. As a matter of fact, when I decided to walk away, they proceeded to tell me how small they really thought of me, but that's a story for another episode. Anywho, moving forward. One day, while at the agency mixer, I met a girl on the roster and she was talking about her goals and what she came to do. But what really stood out to me the most was her confidence when she said, "I am an actress." It struck me in a wonderful way because this girl at the time had no reputable bookings that I knew of that would contribute to her affirmative way of speaking. But somehow she confidently believed and knew that she was an actress and that she is building her career. So I thought to myself, I should speak more affirmatively over who I am and what I see for myself, because even though I was a working model with receipts and an actress with some credits, when I said in passing conversations, I'm an actress/model, I didn't feel confident at all. Instead, I felt uncomfortable, like I said something wrong. And it would remain that way until I came into a new agreement with myself. So now in present day, I can unapologetically tell you who I am. But it's only because I had to sit with myself and come into agreement with my new identity. As children of the Most High, we are beautifully and wonderfully made. And when we move according to God's will in our lives, dreams become reality and visions become tangible. When I think about mindset and agreements, I often recap the story of the Israelites fresh out of Egypt, because the journey to the promised land was meant to be a very short one, but instead it resulted in a 40-year journey to a location that was only days away. Simply because of disbelief, complaining, complacency, and in my own interpretation, a poor mindset. When you take someone out of an environment where dreams don't always come true, people are struggling and hope is far and few, and introduce them to a realm where anything is possible, it can be shocking to the system. However, the moment that person decides to let go of those poor mindset agreements and come into a prosperity mindset is when the promised land is revealed. If your life, works, or mindset aren't reflecting what you know they should be, then it's possible that it's time to come into new agreements about yourself. There are levels, realms, and possibilities in all that we do. So what something looks like for you may differ from what it looks like for others, but you are who you are. So start speaking who you truly are over yourself until you come into new agreements about your identity, and things will shift accordingly. You can say, I'm a child of God. I am intelligent. I'm beautiful. I am successful. Or in my case, I am an actress. Or whatever it is for you. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. For life and death is in the power of the tongue. And always remember, God does not like complaining. Just some food for thought. Create new agreements. Release the ugly, discouraging ones, and walk into your promised land, because you deserve to live a great life. Thank you so much for tuning into A Great Life podcast. I truly pray this episode has blessed you. For more inspiration, join my newsletter and blog at madebyparrot.com. Also, A Great Life TV will be dropping my brand new web series called Legally Black in February, right here on YouTube. Written and starring me and directed and produced by my husband, Abai Peace. You don't want to miss this story of redemption. Please follow Legally Black web series on Instagram and make sure you're subscribed to A Great Life TV on YouTube. Well, that's all for today, folks. God bless. Don't stress. It's Paris. Peace. Did you know that A Great Life podcast can be streamed audibly? That's right. Take your inspiration on the go by streaming A Great Life on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you love to stream. Stream A Great Life podcast today.